From cheers of the fans to the crack of the bat, learn it all from Jimbo, Gabe, Mike, and Matt. Giving thoughts on all public teams, whether times are boom or if they are lean. Hero players that you should know, not only the good things, highs and the lows. Here it is, we're ready to go. Please enjoy the podcast. On with the show.
Good morning, good evening, and good everything in between, and welcome to the podcast. We're a month into the season. I'm your host, Jim Obernicki, and I'm joined as always by Mr. Gabe Lerman. How you doing, Gabe?
Happy end of Golden Week there, Jimbo. That's why we had a game on Monday and no game tomorrow. And the weather's finally turned. It's warm enough to play softball. It's not too rainy. I've been run through the ringer, but I'm feeling good.
I feel like the weather's been so schizophrenic. Like, it was hot today in the day, and now I just went outside at work, and it's freezing outside. But whatever, we'll get through it. I mean, I'd rather it be cold tonight so I can sleep anyway. And we're joined also by Mr. Michael Beasley. How you doing, Mike?
It's been so hot over here that I had to go get a new air conditioner. I didn't know my AC I was using was like 30 years old, but now I got a shiny new one.
Oh, yeah, I've been thinking I want to get a new AC too. I can't wait for that. But enough weather talk, enough climate talk. Let's get into the baseball. Gabe, what's our top story today?
I know I keep saying we need to bring back Gabe's History Corner. Well, how's this for history coming before I can get it into said corner? Our top story comes from MLB.com and Sabre Award-winning Japanese baseball historian Robert K. Fitz. He's uncovered a newspaper article that provides evidence that the first baseball game in Japan wasn't played in 1872 when Horace Wilson brought it to his Japanese students, but July 1869 in Kobe. The article from the English language Hyogo News, digitally available through Japanese archives, indicates that this was shortly after the first foreign settlements were staked out in Kobe and mentioned in the same sentence as some cricketers trying to field a team. So you remember how there was this big Japanese baseball 150th anniversary back in 2022? Yeah, I think it was off by a few years.
Yeah, that's really cool. But I mean, it doesn't matter what the anniversary is. It's cool that baseball's always been around. Well, not always, but you know what I mean.
If the July 1869 date is true, and again, we have newspaper evidence, that means that baseball in Japan predates the National League by 7 years.
Wow. Okay. Wait. Yeah. That I hadn't realized that. That's crazy. Wow. That's really awesome.
Other top story: we have a trade for cash. Utility man Kakaru Yamanobe was sent from the Seibu Lions to the Yakult Swallows for cash considerations earlier this week. The utility man batted .196 with 26 steals over his 207 games with Seibu. Best of luck in the other league. I mean, there's been players who've shuffled from one league to the other and really rediscovered themselves. Hello, Taishi Hiraoka.
Yeah, man. I always like cash trades. It's simple. It's just like a transfer in football. Just keep it simple. Let's just move some money around. I don't see anything wrong with that. And so let's get into the main meat of today's show, the Around the Horn segment, where we take a look at every team in the league from top to bottom. And starting, as always, seemingly so far this season, with the Oryx Buffaloes. Take it away, Gabe.
2-2-1 after today's tie with the Fighters. They also had a rained-out game on May the 2nd up in Sendai. So still atop the league, but the cushion is down to a single game. Little nervous. The Phenom, second baseman Ryo Ota, remains pegged to the top of the batting title race, albeit sliding a little bit into only a 383. He still tied the club record for most hits in a single month with 39 back in April, with Yoshitomo Tani and Boomer Wells, the other two holders of the record. Not David Wells, the other one. I think his first name is Greg. He's a former Hankyu Brave outfielder. And as if the team needs more offensive help, all-star catcher Tomoya Mori says he's fully healthy again. In his first two games back, he's already got an RBI hit. He's primarily going to DH, but he's always able to step behind the plate and be the backstop. But with Kenya Wakatsuki providing fantastic defense, it's a hard case to make. Maybe if Sugimoto needs a break from the outfield, you could put him at DH and Mori behind the plate to be full send offense, but it's good to have the flexibility. Also returning, pitcher Taisuke Yamaoka returned to the mound for the first time this season. The former starter pitched a scoreless inning of relief in a loss to the Fighters yesterday, needing only 6 pitches to get his 3 outs. Quite efficient. It's helpful to
Okay.
remember that the Buffaloes have pitchers other than Aren Kuri and Hiroya Miyagi, too.
Yeah, it almost doesn't get more efficient than 6 pitches to get 3 outs. It's a pretty good job. And oh man, with Maury coming back, that Buffalo's offense is going to get even scarier. My goodness.
Nishikawa, Sugimoto, Mori, Ota, Keita Nakagawa. Yeah, you've got nowhere to put these guys.
Yeah, no, the Buffaloes have been firing on all cylinders. They are definitely the team to watch so far. But let's kick it over to the second place team right behind them, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Take it away, Gabe.
And only 1 game back of them, courtesy of going 3-2-1 in their last 6 games. In particular, Chusei Manami, the right fielder, and Franmil Reyes, the DH, are now tied for second in the home run leaderboard at 6. Reyes is also 4th in RBIs last I checked. Love to see this for the Franimal. His loyalty to the team is being rewarded. I'm pretty sure I called him for 40 home runs this year. I think he's on pace, if not that far off. 2024 CPBL MVP Gulin Rueyang bounced back from his rough debut to pick up the win in his last start, pitching 7 innings of 2-run ball against the Hawks and picking up 10 strikeouts while doing it. That's more like it. Another Taiwanese phenom in the Pacific League. Also more like it, infielder Kotaro Kiyomiya breaking an 0 for 58 homerless slump with a torpedo bat. Sports Hochi with the news earlier today. It's even a specific model for his weight preferences. So interesting to see how the offense will shift with more torpedo bats coming to NPB and the Pacific League. Kiyomiya, an early success story. On the sad news side, the fastest man on the team is out for a while. Outfielder Ryota Isobata injured his left ankle on a slide into second back on May 4th. No hospital visit, so he's hopeful to recover speedily. Not like the Fighters are lacking for outfielders between the Triple M outfield, Mizutani, Matsumoto, Manami, and Daiki Asama and Yuma Imagawa, who can be called up from the farm. And speaking of the farm Fighters pitched a combined no-hitter against the Swallows on May 5th at their home stadium in Kamagaya. The pitchers were Sun Yi Lei, a Taiwanese 20-year-old on a developmental contract for 6 innings, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, and then Kodai Yamamoto, Anuris Zabala, and Takumi Yamamoto, each facing the minimum for an inning. Combined no-hitters are a rarity in Japan. It's good to see the Fighters are able to get some more pitching depth, just in case anyone goes down from injury. And their Taiwanese scouting remains undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, more pitching depth is something. I mean, I was going to say, like, what do the Fighters not have? It's just that, basically. And man, Kiyomiya with the torpedo bat, that sounds like a delicious combo that I want to see more of. I want Kiyomiya to hit 70 home runs. I remember he was my kind of sneaky dark horse pick for MVP this year, so that would be fun to see. And I
If he
also
can
saw
break out of
people,
his slump, all the better.
yeah, exactly. And I saw people in a MLB group asking about whatever happened to Franmil Reyes. So I was very excited to be like, he's in Japan. Check him out on PLTV. Yeah, always looking for the plug. That kicks us over to our third place team, the Saitama Seibu Lions, who, it's amazing to just say that. I'm still not used to saying they're in third place. 3-3 since our last episode, just kind of breaking even. But look, they're just 2 games back from first place. And it's really cool to see them again. It's awesome to see that they're keeping pace and doing a lot better than last year, to say the least. And it's no fault, of course, of star pitcher Tatsuya Imai, whose ERA remains league best 0.59, which is just incomprehensibly great. Like, that dude is cutting it up in, like, I was gonna say Pedro Martinez kind of way, but even better. I don't know, Pedro was never that low. I mean, or he probably was for a short period of time. And that's not the only pitcher who's doing great for the Lions right now. Is Chihiro Sumida is in third place with a 1.5 ERA, really living up to his potential since the Lions picked him in the lottery a couple years ago. And Kona Takahashi has a 2.17. It's, we always knew the Lions had elite pitching, but this is elite. Like, this is like scary elite. And there was a cool little gesture the Lions did. They gave every elementary schooler or preschool kid attending the May 5th game a free baseball glove. It was a purple one used by Natsuki Takeuchi, to be precise. And, you got to love anything that gets kids into the game. And speaking of kind of cool pastel colors, the Lions debuted a new cap for their uniform at August games, which is going to be like a powder blue jersey with a navy powder blue cap. And it looks exquisite. I really love the Lions summer jersey, or that counts as a summer jersey, or is it just like a special
Yeah, it counts as a
promotional?
summer jersey. It's going to be used throughout most of the games in August.
I might be going for that jersey this year when I'm looking at jerseys to get. But yeah, I'm happy to see the Lions doing so well and chugging along. And if they made the playoffs, that would be insanity considering how bad they were last year. And so we kick it over to the team right on their tails. The Pacific League right now is in very clean order. No one's that far ahead of anyone else. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Take it away, Mike.
Okay, so for the Eagles, 2-3 with some postponements thanks to a lot of rain recently. 2 games back of the Fighters and tied with the Lions, so they're doing a lot better than they were last season. That's despite being the only PL team with an ERA over 3. Kobukata is the first batter to double-digit stolen bases. His career high is 36 from 2023, and he's well on pace to exceed that. And speaking of some personal records, Hidato Asamura is only 9 hits away from 2,000 as of right now. However, he is currently in the midst of a 0 for 33 slump, actually
Woof.
tying his personal high for an 0 for. So hoping that he's able to get out of that and quickly get to the 2,000 hit milestone. Rui Muneyama currently on a hit streak of 6 straight games with a hit, so hopefully he can continue that. I was seeing a lot of news articles point that out, and I don't know, like it is a streak, but I feel like it's just kind of like low to be like, oh, he's on a streak, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just boring. I don't know.
Hey, he's the rookie lottery pick. They want to highlight him.
Yeah. Some interesting tidbits I saw while wasting time on delta graphs and not doing my day job. Rockton leads all of NPB with 30 stolen bases and is last in caught stealing with 2.
They are choosy.
They're also tied for the lead in triples with 8. They lead in walks with 95, and they are the 5th team in all of NPB in team WAR at 3.7. The only PL team ahead of them is Oryx, who is tied for first with the Giants at 7.1. So they're overall they're just doing pretty well, and it's really nice to see them being kind of higher up in the NPB wide leaderboards, not just the Pacific esque leaderboards.
Eagles ball lately has always been about speed and creating havoc on the base paths. Remember, I called Yuya Ogo for a 30-30 season like an idiot. I do like that Kobukata is leading the charge. First batter to double-digit stolen bases this season. His career high is 36 from 2023. He's well on pace to exceed that. Wouldn't be surprised if he's another all-star for the Eagles.
Behind them, not in the last place this week, so that's something I can hang my hat on. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, 5-1 since we last spoke, so that's a bit of a hot streak. But there's just something about being 5-1 and only being in 5th place that's not. It doesn't feel that good. But hey, you know what? I got to take the wins where I can get them, right? And part of that is Hotaki Yamakawa finally getting back into the groove. He is leading the league in 7 home runs right now. And Lee Van Moinello is also just pitching up to his potential. He's been destroying teams every time he gets out there on the mound. This past week when he played against the Lions, not a single runner got past second base. He just absolutely shuts everyone down. And it's good that he's been playing up to his potential and Yamakawa's coming back around, but it can't all be good news. Yukio Shuto, who was having the best start to the season of his career, has been diagnosed with a fractured right fibula and will be out until who knows. So the Hawks injuries don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. But, we're not in the last place. Let's keep it up, guys. Again, it's really weird for me to feel this bad after a 5-1 week, but it's anyway. Okay, I'm not gonna.
You're just being picky, is what's going on.
And so let's kick it over to the last place team, the Chibalone Marines. What do you got for us, Mike?
Do I have to go?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the idea.
Do I? I don't wanna. Their losing streak ended today at 6 with a 7-3 win over Rockton, so my pain is not as bad as it could be. Gregory Polanco, Shogo Nakamura, and Haruya Tanaka have all been sent down to the farm for some retooling, as all three have been struggling this year. Yu Tatematsu and Shingo Ishikawa will be taking their place on the top team. Ishikawa has been great on the farm this year, currently batting 380 in 18 games so far down there. My opinion, Polanco needed to go down. The one thing that I found interesting is that Neftali Soto is kind of struggling the same way Polanco is. A lot of their stats were kind of near identical, and Soto's still on the team. So, I mean, obviously I don't know, how the contract stuff and works and everything, but with Soto being, a long-term NPB veteran at this point, and a pretty good first baseman, I'm wondering what was the logic there? I guess, I mean, they're both proven power bats, but with Soto having 40 home run potential, even though he hasn't showed that in a couple of years, I was wondering if that was the logic there, or if maybe the opposing teams just feel that he's more of a threat right now than Polanco. Interested to see what retooling, so to speak, that was a translation I got on the articles that Polanco, Nakamura, and Tanaka are going to be going through. Hopefully it works out well, and I believe we should see them back on the 16th of this month if everything goes well. To give you an idea of how bad the team is struggling right now, they are dead last in all of NPB in hits as a team with 202. If you're wondering, Oryx leads with 319, followed by SoftBank at 284. Some more on Yu Tatematsu. I found him to be a very interesting story. 26 years old and was drafted out of the Industrial League last season, playing with Nippon Life Insurance. After he graduated from college, he intended to quit baseball and just enter real life and start working. But his father, saw the potential in him and convinced him to join the Industrial Leagues instead. He ended up playing really well over there, could play multiple positions. And Lotte drafted him. And even then, after Lotte had drafted him, excuse me, he was still iffy on going pro due to the fact that he was already 26. But he decided to go pro anyway, since he'd actually been a fan of Lotte his whole life, being a resident of Matsudo in Chiba. I'm personally a big fan of Matsudo. I think it's a very nice city, and it's kind of crazy to know that I could have been standing behind him in line at the book off there. But hope his career goes well, and it's just an interesting start to his career. He's been switching between the outfield, playing catcher, and I think he's even pitched in some inter squad games. I'm not certain on that. I couldn't find too much, but I did see that he did all three in the Industrial League quite often. Best of luck to Brian Sammons making his NPB debut in this morning's game. The 30-year-old lefty previously played with the Twins. He picked up 3 wins down on the farm, so he's doing pretty well, clearly ready to go. He started today's game, went 2 innings, and I think he pitched very well.
Oh, so it was like a Johnny Holstaff kind of game.
Yeah, pretty much bullpen game.
Those are rare in Japan, so neat that they're trying something different, trying to shake things up, and it seems like it panned out. At some point, we got to talk more about the industrial leagues and how it's an interesting alternate path to the NPB, considering there's only one farm team per team normally, and there's a lack of independent ball options as well. It's a great way for players to extend their careers and in some cases save them.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we had something like that in North America. But then again, we have a lot of independent ball options, so I guess that kind of counts. But yeah, the industrial league is really cool. Maybe we'll fit that in somewhere, a little segment, maybe in a couple weeks. But let's get over to the end of today's show with our familiar faces in new places. Gabe, how are the boys doing stateside?
And we are setting a land speed record for this one. Roki Sasaki got his first MLB win earlier this week, beating Atlanta at their place with 5 innings of 3-run ball, walking 2 and striking out 4. Former Hawk Kodai Senga dropped his season ERA down to 1.16, which also matches his whip. 6 shutout innings at Arizona earlier today, despite 5 walks. Shohei Ohtani leads the National League in triples with 4 to go with 10 home runs and 10 stolen bases. There's no telling him to stop. I do not know where the ceiling is anymore. And congratulations and bonsai to former fighter and Eagle Haruki Nishikawa, who played in his 1500th career game on May 1st. His first game was March 30th, 2012 at Sapporo Dome. I don't know about you, but I completely missed that he signed with the Swallows last season. Like he disappeared.
Well, that's what happens when you disappear. I don't know. I got nothing. Yeah, I didn't see that he signed with the Swallows either. But so that brings us over to the end of today's show, and our question of the day from us to you and you to us: what is your favorite long weekend? I guess mine would be Christmas. First thing that comes to mind for me. What about you guys?
See, I asking this because Golden Week is going on and it's basically a week long of statutory holidays in Japan. That's why we had games on Monday and none on Thursday this week. With Victoria Day coming up for us Canadians and Memorial Day coming up for folks down in the States, I think my favorite holiday or my favorite long weekend has got to be the August one up here in Canada. It's not full of like rambunctious activities. There's no fireworks on the civic holiday. It's just a beautiful weekend with an extra day. Sweltering hot August. I wait 9 months for summer, gosh darn it.
Uh, I don't really get long weekends because my work's always open. The only time we close during the year is Christmas time. So it's normal hours pretty much every regular like US weekend holiday. I mean, I can schedule some like with my time off, but like that's the only way I really get one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I work security, so I get the same thing. But I get paid more on those days, and I do less work because no one's at the school. So well, it all works out for me personally.
Yeah, the one time I was working on a holiday and work in a pharmacy and I had to tell someone that their doctor was not in because of the holiday and they cannot comprehend that their doctor's office was closed for the holiday, even though everywhere else was closed. And they just said, "What about me?" And I was kind of confused. The holiday was Christmas Eve, by the way. It was Christmas Eve, and they were wondering why their doctor's office was closed. I'm still confused about it.
No, that's the public for you. But that brings us to the end of today's show. We'll see you next time on the podcast. Take care.